Ready? I have a personal assistant. I love my personal assistant.
Yes.
People ask me all the time, do you think I need a personal assistant? You want to know what I say?
I don't know if you do.
I have no idea if they do. I like mine. I'll tell you why I like mine and what that person does, and they can decide for themselves. They need to be big boys and big girls in this world. If you're to the point of having a personal assistant, learn how to make decisions. But I'm going to tell you what you do, Mariana does for me. I'm going to say this. I always kind of used employees in my company to do things for me because I was the CEO and the founder, right?
Correct.
But I would take so much of their time, and then we would get this great relationship. Mm-hmm. And then they could be really, really honest with me and they'd say, hey, jerk, I have my own job. Stop having me do your basic shit.
Yeah, I can see all Anna, Erica, and Adriana saying, hey, jerk.
You
yes,
know
sure,
that they're literally three very strong-minded, intelligent people, right?
That is correct.
And they're just like, would roll their eyes and say, come on, man. I know this is too small for you to do, but then this is now too small for me to do, or I have my own life.
Or if you want this done, I cannot be ordering your omelet.
Exactly. So the whole omelet thing, though, is not why I really... You just made me an omelet, so thank you so much.
That's why it came to mind. But yeah, I mean...
But the number one thing that you do for me that I never realized is, bah! She helps me see the future.
Dun, dun,
2,
dun.
3, 5 years in the future. Now, I didn't really notice this, but in a company where you have over 1,000 employees like we do, I cannot talk day to day about my big grand plans all the time. Because they'll have questions. They'll have fear. If I say, we want to do this, and we want to do this, like, how are we going to do that? Who's going to do that? How much is it going to cost? Is it going to work?
Or people take it as an instruction.
Wow!
Curtis said.
I'm brainstorming ideas, and they're like, oh, Curtis said this. I'm like, that was just me with too much caffeine coming up with an idea, right?
Yes.
With you, we drive around, and I'm like, I got an idea. And you're like, oh, really? What is it? I don't know if she pays attention, but she sure allows me to say it.
I do.
She does.
Usually.
So it's very funny because you helped me see the future so much that you said when you started, I could see the future. I knew when I told you exactly where we were going, and that was bullshit.
I didn't know it back then.
I was building the dream and saying it out loud to you, and it's something I couldn't say out loud. So I think it lets you build the future by talking to somebody that you like and you trust on a day-to-day basis. So that's a good one. Number 2 is you're the gatekeeper.
Okay.
If I have 1,000 employees, I also do the LinkedIn machine and the Instagram machine and the YouTube machine. I'm asked to speak all over the world. I'm on podcasts, right?
And I take care of your email.
I do take care of my old friends who are calling me up trying to get a hold of me, right?
Isn't it funny that they're now my friends?
I know. Well, they do like you better than me now.
I answer.
They're like, well, yeah, Curtis never answers my freaking calls. You're the gatekeeper because if it was just wide open, there would be hundreds of people a day needing and demanding my time. And you hear the big picture, number 1.
Yeah.
And number 2, you're kind of looking at this thing saying, hey, I need to help him focus on what's important, right?
Yes.
Do you believe that that gatekeeper part is an important part of your job?
I think it's major.
Is it the most important?
I don't think it's the most important.
I don't think so either, but it's something that we all need to keep in mind. Gatekeeper, it's a really important one. Got to look at my notes and remind myself of this one, okay? Number 3.
Dun, dun, dun.
Remember my big, great, grand ideas. I am like you know in the 2 Towers? I'm always going to go back to the Lord of the Rings, right?
Of course.
And the 2 Towers, and they're trying to get Orthanc, and they're trying to get Saruman, so they break the dam and the water rushes down.
Yes.
Release the river.
That's your idea.
I always have so many big ideas, right? They boom, boom, avalanche, flood, they're just coming out.
Yeah.
I forget them
True.
all the time. I'm really good at coming up with them, but I'm just like, I move on, okay? You, as you see my life progressing and see the pattern, say, hey, remember last week you had this idea. Hey, you had this. Remember you said this. And I say, of course I remember I said that. I don't remember that.
Sometimes I write them down. And
Nice.
sometimes we just start remembering things like, oh, remember we said this, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And then you have this great geographical memory. And you always say, oh, yes, we were driving past blah when you
That's
said
right.
that.
You drive me around all the time, and I can tell what song we were listening to.
Yeah.
I can remember exactly, and I'm like, oh, I remember that. We were there, I was talking, and it solidifies that idea, and we come up with that. Not every one of those ideas makes it into the real world.
No.
What some of them do, and some would have been lost.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them, the majority, would have been lost. So you help remind me of those big ideas, okay? Number 4 is a weird one, but it's a fun one.
Okay, go ahead.
We had to speak at this event in Napa. We got to speak at this event in Napa.
Oh, yes.
Right? And I didn't show up the night before when they had the big party, but I was coming in for the breakfast, and I came through the trees. And as I walked into this group of like 200 people all having breakfast in their fancy clothes and the white tents, you said,
Ta-da!
You yelled, ta-da! And everybody looked and some people went, oh, Curtis is here!
And then somebody said you have to bring your own.
He said, I've never had an introduction like that. I've never walked into a room and been greeted like that. And someone said, you got to learn to bring your own hype man.
That.
So you were building me up the night before and talking about me. And then when I came, you're like, oh, everybody, it's Curtis.
There he is.
And I'm going to tell you this. We are the best people at events. We go to live events like, we go to the e-com events and all of these where you have hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people. And there's probably nobody that meets more people than us.
True.
Because when you go to those events, I've had people go to these 3-day events and they're like, yeah, you do 3 things. You listen to things you don't really care about. Number
Some
1.
you do care about.
Number 2, to feel comfortable, you go to people you already know and talk to them.
That.
Most people do
Then
that.
why do you go?
And 3, you meet somebody interesting that's going to change your freaking life.
Yes.
How do you meet the interesting people? We walk around separately, and you walk up to people and say, who's the most important people that Curtis needs to meet here? And they'll say, I don't know, maybe Glenn. Glenn's a really smart guy. And you'll walk right up to Glenn and say, hi, I'm supposed to meet you. Have you met Curtis? And you bring him over, and we start talking about life.
So I'm a wingman.
You're an absolute wingman in this thing, but you'll meet people. That happened. Okay, let's just break this down. We're authentic and we're real. We went to this event in Tulum.
Oh, yeah.
You made me an extra $300,000, did you not?
I did.
How?
By smoking on the beach.
You went to go smoking on the beach, and you met somebody who else was smoking on the beach, and you kept saying to me, you want to know this?
She is so interesting.
She is so smart. She's the smartest person here. And I'm like, yeah. Look at me. I'm Curtis. I'm talking to people. Come to find out, she was brilliant.
Yeah.
This thing, what'd she do? Charge us like $30 for something she did for $100. $100 for something that made me $300,000. Like,
Plus was great to talk to.
Yeah.
And we keep in touch.
And we're telling other people about her right
Yeah.
now, right? So you work as a wingman. I'm going to tell you, people don't think just of Curtis and they don't think of Mariana. They think of Curtis and Mariana, right?
Yeah.
So when we're at these events, we can be talking in 2 different ways to 2 different people, but they think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
They think by talking to you, they know me, and by me, they know you, and that works out. So I'm going to tell you, you want to have a personal assistant. Don't just have them working remote. Have them come to events and travel the world with you. Do you like traveling?
Oh, I love traveling. But isn't it crazy how we go to these events?
Yeah, it's crazy how much you love traveling. Let's not just jump past that right now.
Okay.
You're crazy. You just get this glowy, floaty look like, I get to go to the airport and go and travel. And I'm like, Grumpyville.
On my free time, I just pack bags for the fun of it.
Okay, we got more things on our list of shit that you do.
All right.
They're not going to believe this because of this video. You helped me focus.
True.
Now,
True.
Are you a focused person?
No.
Am I a focused person?
No.
But together we almost make one focused person at times? Would you kind of say that?
Yes, it's the way that our dynamic just flows that we keep coming back to what we have to focus on.
Yeah.
It happens in meetings too.
Yeah, we bring people back. We notice each other so well that we're able to do that. It's most apparent in contrast. And what I mean by contrast is, what is a day like with me when you're not there?
I don't know. I'm not there.
It is just so calming and fucking wonderful. I
know, it's
am
sad.
sad. Everyone, like, I go into the office and I'm like, hi. I have to look at my own calendar. I have to come up. I'm just standing there. I just start wandering around the company and everyone's like, uh-oh, where's Mariana?
Hi, we have stuff to do. Go away.
Yeah, and they have their own lives.
Yeah.
I am really bad at this. You don't know how sad I get when you're not there.
You tell me, but I just...
And you just admitted something. I have been gone in the United States, and when I got back, you're like, yeah, I was kind of lonely without you too.
Oh my God. And I have this
But you
team.
didn't. You were lying to me. You were like telling me all sunshine and roses because you didn't want me to worry.
You worry. You always say, I am the worrier. You worry too. And it's not fair.
Yeah. Okay, personal assistant. Got to come up with more reasons that I have a personal assistant.
Okay, what about I make a video of the things I think I do for you that you have no clue?
You mean in this video, we actually put a little thing at the end where it's just you talking without me and saying, this is the shit that I do?
Or I make a separate video where I drive and I say, this is the shit that I do, and people compare and contrast.
They'll never buy it without me sitting in this chair leading the discussion. They won't believe it.
Okay, let us know if you will believe it, if you want my video.
I like the idea of us basically being there and in the middle of this thing saying, that's true or that's not true. Here's the thing. I will never not have a personal assistant. That for me. Now, I run a very big company. The decisions people have to make is, when you're smaller, can you do this? Okay? And here's part of what that is. You have to, if you're going to have a personal assistant, you have to be able to tell them what you want and what they need. You have to be in charge but vulnerable. You have to gain this communication and trust so that you can do this. If you ask the top 20 people in my company, is it okay if Mariana quit? No. What do you mean? No. You just say, no. What do you mean?
We just had a 3rd-year anniversary, right?
Yes.
Do you know how many people called and or texted to say, you are the backbone of this. This wouldn't be the same without you here.
I do know because I sent out a memo to all of those people to contact you. I've never sent out a memo in my life. You send out the memos. So now I've learned that you need a personal assistant. What do you pay that person? I don't know and I don't care. You should at least try.
A lot, guys.
I don't. Here's the thing. Get a personal assistant and give it time. The first 2 or 3 months is not going to be exactly, all of a sudden everything's not going to be clear. It's work. It's a partnership. It's a relationship that you're doing for the business side of your life, which sometimes touches on my day-to-day personal life. And you have to be able to work with somebody and work through that. If it were me, I will always have a personal assistant, and I think the right people should look into doing this immediately.
I love that.
Yeah, look, we're changing lives. You know what we didn't say earlier?
What?
This thing's going to be on the YouTube machine.
Okay.
I just said machine. I didn't say machine. I said machine.
Have you gone Mexican now?
Is that how they say it in Mexico?
Yeah, the sh is not a thing for us.
No, I was kind of leaning forward, and it just kind of hit a little bit. It just sounded a little bit different. That's really what happened there.
Champoo
Machine.
And the shorts. And the sushi.
What I'm saying is they should subscribe, because are we going to get better at these videos?
We are.
We're going to be able to, they always say if you want to be successful on the internet, this thing, be authentic. We're authentic.
We are.
Number 2, show your vulnerabilities and shit. That's mostly what we got.
Yeah.
And then number 3, know what the hell you're talking about. Hey, we're like the golden triangle of all the things that you need to be successful on this machine. Why are we, me and you, on the YouTube machine?
Because we want magic to happen at some point in life.
because later on, something's going to happen because of this that we're going to love. The real thing is I get messages almost daily about people who say, I heard that, I listened, I took action, it changed my life.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking to the millions of people, I'm talking to the dozen who actually take something that we do. And in this essence,
This one is for you.
yeah, the people who get a personal assistant and write us back in a year and say, I got me a Mariana.
How did I not have one of these in my life before? How have I lived so far?
Everybody, personal assistant, subscribe.
Like, save, help me.
All those things
help
you're
me
supposed
grow.
to do. Bye.